So apparently there's been a massive power outage in Atlanta. And now I'm sitting in the Greenville Airport and have been here for hours. Alright folks, finally made it to the airport. It's like 1:10. My flight boards in about 40 minutes, I believe. And I can do this because I'm in Greenville. If this was another city, probably a different ball game. But it's definitely a perk of being in Greenville because the airport is not too small, but it's not too big either. So I'm been a crazy morning. Started around 6 this morning. Got up really early, had to cut my hair, and then had to get finished packing. Then went to church, preached the word, got out of church, got straight in the car, drove straight to the airport. So I'm trying to get in here now because I don't want to miss my flight. So I will see you guys after I pass customs, or not customs, security, TSA. Alright, peace. Well, there's been a massive power outage in Atlanta airport, and I've been sitting here for hours, literally hours, waiting. My flight has been delayed now, I think like 6 times, and finally the flight, my second leg to New Orleans, was just canceled, and so it's been quite a pandemonium around here. Greenville is packed. It's not normally this packed because it's a smaller airport, but they're diverting planes to Greenville because Atlanta is pretty much shut down. So there are people literally everywhere. We're just sitting, waiting, freaking out, delayed planes. I can't imagine what's got to be happening in Atlanta with no power. It's got to be crazy. So I'm sitting here. My flight has been rebooked. This is why I love Delta, because they're very proactive. They've been working their tail off, been very open with communication, and everybody knows what's going on. But I've been rebooked. Now I'm going to be flying to Detroit and then to New Orleans. It's kind of sad though, because I was looking forward to landing in New Orleans during the daytime. That will not happen. I will be getting there now at 12, not 12, like 10 something tonight. So it's gonna be a crazy trip. This has been very insane. I'll be honest with you. I was supposed to be there at 5. Now I will be leaving Greenville at 5:52. That, just put that in perspective. I was supposed to be in New Orleans at 5. Now I'm leaving Greenville at almost 6. So I'm just sitting waiting. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get this one. All right.
One eternity later.
We are almost about to board the flight, and I was just thinking, how can we capitalize on this, or what can we do with this moment? And so I'm going to turn this into a review of the Delta app, because I have been using this thing religiously right now, and it's come in handy, keeping me updated on what's going on because of the big power outage in Atlanta. And so I just want to kind of share some thoughts that I think would be helpful for you in case you ever find yourself in a massive delayed departure where flights are canceled and all kinds of stuff. and you're flying Delta. I'm using the Delta app on the iPhone 10, and a few things I'll say about it. First of all, when all the stuff started happening, I feel like a little bit ahead of time than some of the people working here, which I probably wasn't, but on my app, I was getting notifications, or I would see that the flight time had changed before they would even announce it. So I was pretty up to date on that. Was up to date on the flight changes and the delays, and then as it got more into it, it seemed a little bit more intense. You start seeing where they were rebooking you and they were changing all kinds of stuff, and I would get notifications. Things worked flawlessly. I mean, when they changed my flight from going to Atlanta to going to Detroit, I was able to accept the flight, change, and do all kinds of stuff right in the app. So it came right up. Under this app, you'll get, my trips. You can view your boarding pass. You can do all kinds of stuff. It's kind of cool. What else will I say? Well, I'll tell you this. A couple things that I wish would have been better about this app. The app was very up to date, but when they changed me, or when my flight changed, I had booked the bag, and that did not show up in the app. I did not see where my bag was, so I had to go find one of the guys at the gate and get him to change my bag physically, so I could see it in the app. They did not do that automated, and I wish that would have been automated, and I wouldn't have had to go do that. But it wasn't a big hassle. He gladly did it. Helped me out real nice. The other thing is that I had been sitting because I was waiting for the flight, which was supposed to be at gate B2, and then another flight pulled up, and then it was saying LaGuardia. I'm like, I'm going to Detroit. So I had a gate change, but it showed up in the app after, and I wish that would have kind of been a little bit sooner. Not a big deal. It's literally one gate over. It's a little walk for me, but I feel like I could have missed that flight because we were supposed to be boarding at 5:12 and not 5:21. Overall, really great app. Works flawlessly. I think it's done well. And if you don't use it, I suggest you use it. It really helps with travel, especially if you have an Apple Watch. You can do some cool things, and you can scan your watch and not have to have a boarding pass or have your phone out at all. Do it all from your wrist. So I'm very into technology like that. I think it's very advancing, and you should definitely download that app. I hope they can work those little flaws out so people can be a little bit more aware of what's going on. But overall, considering how crazy today has been, I think Delta has done an amazing job keeping people up to date. And so now I'm just waiting to get on the plane so I can get to Detroit and then get to New Orleans. I am so tired. I have been up since like 6 or something this morning. I went to bed like 2, so I'm tired. So I want to get to my hotel room and just crash and go to sleep. But we're almost there. Looks like I got another 5 hours in this trip. So, I'll see y'all in Detroit. Place up. Just got to Detroit. My flight just landed. My other flight is already boarding. So I'm trying to get there. I'm in Concourse C, and I got to get all the way to A, and before they leave me. Let's ride. So So just discovered something else I want to point out as it relates to the Delta app. When I arrived in Detroit, when I opened the app and everything, my flight was showing as on time. It was showing as everything was good to go, and all these wonderful things. Two things. One, I wish it would have told me where I was landing, like my current course that I was landing in. And then I wish it would have told me where my next flight, well, it did tell me where my next flight was, but I wish I would have known where I was landing, because I would have known that I was in concourse C and that I had to go all the way to A. So that was a thing. I just wish they would have told me a little bit more there. But then I pretty much did everything except run. I was walking as fast as I could possibly can to get over here, because my flight boarding time is supposedly at 7:49. Well, then when I get here, the plane is not even here. It's not even here, bro. I get here and then I check the app and it says it's 2 minutes away. Which the delay issues in the app for getting information out, that's gotta get better, because I'm like freaking out thinking I'm about to miss a plane and it's not even here. Like, for real, let me show you. My gate is A71. And what's out there? Nothing. There's that. So, Delta, fix that, man. I know today is a tricky day because Atlanta just lost power and there's no power in the largest airport in the world. And so I know. But I know you guys have an extremely high standard for yourself, and I think you can get these issues. Needless to say, I stand by my original thing that I said in Greenville, which is you need to download this app. You should use the Delta app if you're traveling, especially with Delta, because it does give you the most up-to-date, real-time information. And maybe a little delay, but it does give it to you, and you do know what's going on, so you're not confused and having to stand at the desk in long lines, ask a lot of questions, all that kind of stuff. So download it. It's free in the App Store. I'll link to it below, and go get it. Okay. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video and my quick little review of the Delta app, and I hope that it's helped you on your journeys. I'll do a little bit more in-depth review later someday, but this is kind of a real life. I'm using it right now, and this is what's going on with, and mind you, I'm using it in the worst case scenario. So I've been in airports all day long today, and I can't wait to get to my destination so I can go to sleep. But needless to say, hope you like it. Click that subscribe button if you like this video for more videos like this. We've got a lot more coming. And yeah, thank you for tuning in, it's your boy. Alright, peace.